Hey folks, hope you guys are doing alright and had a good weekend. In this video I'm sharing with you the Holographic OSL shader. It's a non-photorealistic shader that will help you visualize diffraction, grating, iridescence, dichroic, holographic, and that kind of effects. Of course, in real life these are completely different phenomena, but when it comes to rendering, I feel like we can group these into one shader and it will do it all. This shader is already based on a really good diffraction grating shader available on GitHub for Redshift, but this one I added a few additional controls to help me art direct and visualize beyond the physical accuracy. So without further ado, jumping into Cinema 4D right now, I have the IPR running. The OSL is already loaded inside the material and layered on top of a metallic base. So this is the base material, and I'm just adding this OSL to it. Alright, jumping into the OSL itself, I have a few sections here. Pretty self-explanatory. Base is just the base color, metalness, and the first layer of specular or reflection. As I mentioned, you can use this on its own. Next is reflection. This is where all the fun happens. Weight, roughness, and then the separation. So zero separation is just going to be the reflection with the true color of the light source. Separating that. Band offset is where the separation center takes place. Kind of think of it as phase. Next to it is rem exponent. That's just the Fresnel affecting the separation on the edge. So more, less. And then the IOR. Next to that, there is the reflection chromaticity. This is think of it as just Photoshop. You get to control hue, saturation, and a little bit more controls. So looking closely, you have a preset color settings, or you can set it to custom, where you set your own colors. I'll set it back to rainbow. Right after there is hue shift on the edge. So as you go more further the edge, away from the camera facing, hue will start changing, as well as value. Next, you have a spectrum gain if you want to have more control. You can always connect, of course, another ramp or image. You have edge brightness. You have edge and facing color. If you want to have a specific color reflecting on the edge, you see a little bit of a yellow here. And of course, color for the facing angle. And then you have overlap boost. Think of it as just trying to collapse the RGB channels back together. Right next there is Dichroic, giving you the control on each separate channel gain. So if your material is reflecting only blue and red, or blue and green only, yeah. We have tangent and Anisotropy, so you can stretch that if I would to increase the roughness a little bit. You have control over the direction, rotation. I already have it mapped right there. But the map connected have no effect because I have radial tangent already enabled. So this is like a built-in radial ramp inside the shader if you don't want to connect your own separate ramp. So if I were to disable this right now, it will be using the ramp I connected here. So I will disconnect that. This is without having any rotation control. This is with the connected rotation, and then this is with the built-in. Based on the geometry, it will create a radial ramp, and you get to see very faint here. Maybe if I would solo this shader, maybe we get to see this more. And of course, you can control the center based on the UV. Alright, next is normal. So you have two layers of distortion on this shader. The first one is the regular bump input. So let's zoom in a little bit here and increase the bump strength. I already have a bump map connected. Control over the bump rotation. Think of it as just rotating the normal. And why these settings are here is always because you can drive that with another map. Alright, I'm gonna kill this bump. Second layer of distortion here is just waves. If you've dealt with these materials and decals before, you know that they show up with a little bit of waviness into them. And this waviness also changes or alters based on the viewing angle. So this is why I have facing and gazing angle density. So as it's facing right now, it should have very low frequency, and then gazing. You can control the amplitude and the weight. All right. So yeah, I hope you guys find this interesting. You can always, of course, if I were to unsolo that and maybe increase the transmission, you can also have a fake dichroic film. And of course, you can also kill certain bands. So yeah, the sky's the limit actually with this one. And I hope you find this interesting. You can find this on my Patreon. And yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time.